Indeed, greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you so much for joining me again on another video. I always appreciate your presence. If you enjoy what it is we're doing here, consider liking the video, consider subscribing, and do leave a comment. I try and answer every single one of them. Let's meld more into being. So today's title for the stream is Meld More Streams to Bond with Friends. And technically my intention is more to talk about the word bonding and our human need to bond with things, do things in general. And it is a fascinating topic, and I'm not sure exactly what I want to say about it just yet, but it's always good to give yourself an idea, to ask yourself how you feel about these ideas, to see what you think about these ideas, and then to get to the root of the problem, or to the root of the happiness, if there is any to be found in your ideas as well. Not taking anything for granted, not believing yourself always, all the time as well. Because I think in questioning ourselves, we allow ourselves to reevaluate the things we want to bond to. Hey Jovan, I think this is the first time I'm first. I think it may be actually, Jovan. It's very nice to have you as the first friend in chat. How are you actually, Jovan? I don't think I've asked you in a while. Like I'm very impressed, I have to say, by the way. Like the photo that you sent in general. Was it in general? It might have been in Share Your Work. With you with the mask, looking like you have a bunch of paint on you, just like absolutely going at it. Well done, Jovan. Like that's inspiring, actually inspiring. And the intention you have behind it as well is so beautiful. I look forward to hearing more and being kept up to date with that development, how things are gonna go there. I do want to say something worth saying though. There's so many of them. You cannot possess love unless you set it free. I don't feel that one is the one. Maybe this one actually. Feeling is the way to awaken. Feeling is the way to awaken. Yeah, that definitely rings true with me. Feeling definitely, in my opinion, is the way to awaken. Good morning, Aaron. I'm happy that you're here as well, my friend. Thank you for sharing this space with me today. Aaron sent me a video today, or maybe last night technically for him, but he sent me a video of this guy talking about what he calls toxic positivity. And he kind of goes into talking about how people have this tendency. And I was watching it very much from a perspective of trying to see how his message could, apply to the things that I believe and the things that I feel and believe to be true. And he was basically talking about this mindset of, only talking about the positive, telling people that are in a depressive state or going through stuff to only think happy thoughts. And like I was listening to it with a very intentional ear, and it was extremely uncomfortable to me as well in a lot of ways, because I felt like there was a lot of profanity involved as well, and that wasn't the point exactly, but I felt like there was a hurting in him as well, in the things that he was saying and the way that he was feeling. And he was basically talking about toxic positivity in the way that where people want you to believe, or people tout that if you do these certain things, if you think only happy thoughts, then happiness is the only thing that you'll experience in your life. And if I've been trying to teach that, my friends, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to try and force that message. I do believe so. Like, this is a conversation I actually had with my dad, Aaron, after I watched that video. It was definitely putting me in a mindset of like questioning myself and asking myself and reevaluating the things that I do believe and the things that I do feel. And I told my dad that I feel that in some ways I might fall under this category of toxic positivity. And he was like, okay, so like you say that toxic positivity is someone that only wants to talk positively and share the good, share the positive aspects of being alive, when at the end of the day, like, life isn't necessarily all positive aspects. And I'm very aware of it. I've been through a lot of the negative aspects in myself as well. And then I told my dad, like, I understand that there is this, something called toxic positivity, and it's this, touting that the only thing that is true almost this positive thought, positive feeling, an ability to almost like want to associate with that positivity. But the alternative is to, associate with negativity. And like you can like make this argument, and this is something that I kind of thought of as well. Not thought of, like, it's just I felt it as I was, arguing this point to myself. Like, is there something in being neutral? Can you be neutral in, something as wide as just communicating? Because I feel at the end of the day, we are, as human beings, more so than not, polarizing in our beliefs and what we choose to believe. This is something that me and Toasty actually had a chat about these boxes, that we sometimes assign ourselves. Like, I am this, I am a Christian, I am an atheist, I am a conservative person, I am, trans, I am gay, I am lesbian. And then, like, not necessarily only people assigning themselves these boxes and kind of living in that box, trying to model their own behavior to kind of fit into this box, but also it will go as far as people kind of expecting of you to fall into this box that you now kind of fall into according to them. Like, for instance, like, especially so with, like, for instance, and this is something that we had a conversation about. I mean, I'm sorry, Toasty, I don't know if I'm not supposed to share. I feel these are messages that you would want to share as well, where, like, in, like, gay people, for example, there's like this, certain expected behavior of a gay man, to be flamboyant, to dress in a certain way, to have these character traits. And it's because of these boxes that we've assigned to people, when in fact we can't be contained in a box as a human being, because we're so much more than just this label that we give ourselves at the end of the day. We're so much, wider, so much more diverse, and so much more feeling in that expression as well. So, like, we can't, and like, okay, like, I'm trying to, like, feel and, like, say 1,000 things at the same time. So I think of myself as a positive person, right? This is something that's evident. I believe our friends in this chat, the reason we're here is because we want to celebrate and share the energy of positivity, of love, of acceptance, of compassion, of forgiving each other. And that is the energy that we crave, the energy that we move towards. But just because we think of ourselves as positive people, or at least people that have positive intent for their own spiritual journeys, it doesn't necessarily mean that that is all we are. Like, we can still be fathers, we can still be, like, I want to go into, like, all of the different labels that we can give ourselves, but you know what I'm trying to say. We are still all of these things at the same time, regardless of our spiritual beliefs. And, like, Lane, for example, Lane is one of those things that I definitely don't see myself experiencing necessarily in everyday life. Because during my time in high school, when I was into, like, metal and, just, like, the darker stuff, to say it like that, I was very much rooted in worldly things, and in like the hatred of self and hatred of other people. And I was just, completely nihilistic and negative. And, like, maybe there's, like, some traits, but I can see that Lane has this capacity and this ability to love completely, regardless of the things that he might box himself in. Like, obviously Lane calls himself a metalhead, right? But for each and every one of us, the word metalhead has this, image in your head. And for me, like, I'll give you my personal image that I get in my head. If I think of a metalhead, I think of someone with, like, long hair, wearing black, probably, like, some sort of, like, creepy imagery, like Slayer, or, some sort of metal band that has those squiggly lines, or like a pentagram or something like that. And maybe, like, dark eyeliner, like, if it's really extreme, maybe, like, leather boots, like, if I'm like really pushing it, maybe spikes. But it's like this image we build for ourselves. And then when someone kind of, like, accepts this, like, I'm a metalhead, we kind of, like, build this whole image in our heads that we already have for this, like, thing over that person. And we want them to kind of conform and be those things. And I'm not saying this is what I want. I'm just like talking in general terms of what we do as human beings to each other sometimes, instead of being aware that we're so much more. And oh man, there's so many things I want to say. Like the thing I want to be talking about today actually is bonding. And before I do, I want to bond with you, friends, and actually read some comments. Morning, Melt. Hey, Justin. I'm happy that you're here as well, my friend. I'm going to fill it with lots of plans. Hey, Aaron. Good morning, and Justin. That sounds amazing. I can't. I'm really looking forward to the progress that you're going to make, Siobhan. Morning, my lovely friends. There we go. Life is mostly negative. We need to find the positivity in it. Yeah. Hell yeah. Or heaven, yeah, Borg. I agree completely, my friend. That is like the feeling that I had as well. Like very, very, very intrinsically in myself, listening to the message he was teaching, or he was talking about as well. Because I do believe there are so many negatives in life. The losses that we face, the traumas that we face, the suffering of life in general, through life just being life, through us making connections with things that we love of this world, and then this world taking those things away from us in turn as well. And as you said, my friend, there's a lot of potential negativity in those experiences. So I believe it's our duty, maybe not our duty, it's our challenge to find the positivity in it regardless of it. I feel maybe that's just my opinion, but what's the alternative to that? And the thing is as well, I feel I can't go back to thinking negatively, because it was so destructive to me, and it was so hurtful to the people that I was living around as well. Because when you think negatively, when you have this nihilistic view of the world, of how things ought to be, it kind of like bleeds over into your relationships and the way that you kind of approach your relationships. Like, if nothing matters, why does your relationship matter? Like, why would your relationship matter either? If you feel what I'm saying, like that is, it's the state of not worrying but still caring, because I don't want to be careless. Because that's the last thing that I want. I want to deeply care for every single one of our friends, for every single thing in my life, for the family that I share my time with, for the loved ones that are yet to enter my life. Like, I want to care, but I don't want to worry. I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm thinking negative thoughts, instead of just, living in the moment and then taking things as they come, when they come. Because by living negatively, I believe we make ourselves suffer twice. So if you, for example, let's say I'm thinking like, oh, this bad thing is probably happening. Like, okay, let's do a stupid example. Thinking that you left the oven on and there was like something in the oven, right? Now you're stressing, oh man, did I leave the oven on? Did I leave the oven on? And you get home and you did leave the oven on. Sorry for the camera shake and the wind noise, my friends. And you did leave the oven on. So now for this whole day, you have suffered in this feeling of you've left the oven on, and you came home to like your house full of smoke, and your let's say your chicken completely burnt to a crisp. And now you're suffering again because of that experience as well. But if you, in that same example, worried the entire day, and it wasn't on, like you didn't forget your oven on, now you've made your suffer unintentionally, and then you didn't have to suffer at the end of the day. So I feel, in my personal opinion, thinking negatively and having a purely nihilistic view of life, of the people that we spend time with, of the state of our world, where things are going, and it might not necessarily turn out that way. Like, I do believe that we have the capacity to still save this planet. I don't want to believe that we're too far gone. I don't want to believe that we're lost. And if that makes me toxically positive, then damn it, I will be. And I'm gonna be unapologetic for it as well. That's my opinion, mine as well. Meltmore, hey Goldfish! I was talking about you in my stream last night. Hope you're doing well. I haven't seen your stream. Maybe I have seen your stream, but maybe I'm not recognizing your name in that case, my friend. I'll try and actually check it out. Actually, I want to set an intention for why I'm drinking water. I've been rambling too much to take a single sip. What is my intention? I still do want to talk about bonding friends. So maybe I'm going to imagine the very cells of my body bonding to each other with every step I take. Mm. And there are bonds that keep this water in its liquid state as well. Otherwise, it would just turn back into its gases and float into the air. So bonds are definitely important in our existence. Hope you're well. I am doing well, Goldfish. I hope that you're well as well. I am the greatest of all time. You're pretty cool, Borg, I must say, my friend. And I love you so much. Thank you for the hugs and thank you for the silver, Goldfish. Hello, friends. Hey, when it rains. I'm happy that you're here, my friend. Why do people like you constantly feel the need to preach? Honestly asking. I don't know what people like you means, and I'm not trying to preach, my friend. I'm literally just trying to understand the things that I'm feeling, the things that I'm like. I feel like I'm lost, my friend. In a lot of ways, I'm still very lost, and I think in the way of trying to find myself, I just want to share that process as well. Like maybe, oh, the wind is picking up. Like maybe in this process of me finding myself, I completely destroy my own life, or maybe not. And now this is an experiment, if you will, on an entire human being to see how these mindsets, how these feelings, how these ideas influence my life. So if that is a reason to talk about these things, then that is going to be the best reason that I can think of. I'm feeling super negative today. I'm not feeling ultra positive today, my friend. Interestingly enough, I've been having a little bit of a negative day myself as well. But again, it is how I perceive this negative situation. It's how I'm going to react, how my actions are going to play out. And this is also something that the guy told, like said in the video, about your actions. Like if you feel bad about something, start taking actions to change that thing that you feel bad about. You can't just, tell yourself, oh, I'm just going to think happy thoughts about this bad thing, and then eventually this bad thing is going to start getting better because I'm telling myself that it's actually great. I don't believe it works like that at all. I believe it's about being honest with yourself, about asking yourself the real questions of what is it you're doing, why is it you're doing it, and what is it going to do for you at the end of the day? Because I believe we sometimes don't have those reasons in place. We're just kind of doing things, just going in a direction. I'm gonna do this, and like it's great to have that willpower and just do things. But sometimes the things that we do aren't in our best interests. And like I'm asking myself those questions as well. Like even this, positive mindset that I have, I'm asking myself subjectively, is this positive mindset that I have something that could potentially hinder me, or something that could close me to different aspects of my experience? Is it something that could hinder me in my exploration of myself? Is it something that is going to stunt my growth? And asking myself these questions, it's difficult to me to come to a conclusion of saying, yeah, these things are going to, like, my positive attitude is going to negatively influence my life or the lives of others. Like, I can't see that happening. So the alternative is living negatively, living with an experience of dismissive of things, angry at things, sad at things, and permeating that energy onto the friends and the family that I spend my time with. And at the end of the day, man, I'm feeling quite emotional today. Like I'm feeling pissed off at something, and I'm not sure what it is. I don't want to be angry. Maybe I'm angry at myself for questioning or second guessing in my journey, or the things that I'm supposed to be experiencing. Who knows? Who knows? He's not preaching. It's okay as well, my friend. Like that comment also made me feel things, and it made me question what I was talking about, and I was like questioning myself if I was preaching, and I don't feel like I am. So it was a necessary comment. I appreciate it as well. Combatant Duck, we haven't seen you in forever, my friend. I hope that you're well as well. Thank you for being here with us. But maybe it would be good to hang out for a bit. I think so. Why not? Why not? I just watched a YouTube documentary about the racial segregation in SA. Is it prevalent where you are? My friend, no. It hasn't been for 27 years. It's been abolished. Like it was a thing, just like it was something in the US as well, but it's no longer a thing, fortunately. He's just talking about his thoughts. Exactly, Borg. That's the only thing we can do, right? If I'm not having a conversation directly with someone, and I feel like I am doing that in some sense, we are sharing this, back and forth, this ability to experience and share our thoughts and talking about our thoughts with each other. Because by you sharing one of your thoughts with me, that gives me a thought, and then I get to share that thought back with you, friends. And that's why I 100% believe these streams are purely co-creational. If it wasn't for you, friends, there would be no there would be nothing. And I'm so grateful to all of you for that. A lot of people I know uh, to that stuff are actually the squishiest people I know. Into that stuff. The squishiest people you know. I'm not exactly sure what you mean with that stuff, actually. I'm sorry. Uh, what did I talk about that is that stuff? The negativity? I'm not sure. Man, the wind is actually picking up, but there's not a single cloud in the entire sky. Sorry, friends, for the wind noise. I do humbly ask for your forgiveness. Oh, love, oh, acceptance, oh, togetherness. Like, dude, we all can constantly say make believe stuff to feel a smile, but one shower and you've forgotten it all. My friend, yeah, that's the thing. That's literally why I feel we should remind ourselves, because we're so quick to forget our unity with one another, our togetherness, our shared experience. At the end of the day, my friend, like this thing that you're experiencing as well, even be it something that you experience as something that's negative, it is still an experience, and that experience is still something that is perfectly divine in the way that it's supposed to be. And this is something that I've really come to recognize and realize inside of myself as well. I do definitely, as we all do, have a bias towards the positive emotions, but I've stopped, shaming myself, alienating myself because of the negative feelings that I do sometimes feel, the anger, the sadness, the lust, all of these things that we do have in our humanity. I, for the longest time, had such a negative experience in experiencing those things because I judge myself because of those things. And in judging myself, it's just me forgetting to live from a place of forgiveness and love for myself. And like that's the thing, my friend. We can definitely choose our own experiences and what we want to experience in this life and how we want to experience things in this life, but it's our choice at the end of the day. And yeah, we're just choosing to do something other than what the world has been trying to do. Just look at what has been happening in the world, my friend. People have been thinking negatively, hating life for a while. So, like, has it worked? Has it been effective thus far? No. Maybe we should change something. All life is suffering. Yeah, what you decree is, my friend, as well. So remember that. Whoa, you're so camouflaged today. I'm just like straight up blending in, my friend. Like now that you mention it, I'm realizing it as well. I don't know. I find this practice most effective when I'm in turmoil. Yeah, exactly, Jafar. I was like literally thinking the exact same thing as well. Maybe he knows. He just doesn't know that he knows. If you're able to manifest enough energy to stay negative, then you can certainly turn it around. Like that's the thing, my friend. The same energy that we use to be negative is the same energy we use to be positive. Like it's literally this like force that flows from us, and how we channel, how we direct this flow that flows through us is completely our choice. We can kind of direct it in a positive way to help one another, to love one another, to share an experience, to care for one another, to understand each other, to be vulnerable with one another. Or we can use it to drown each other. We can use it to hurt each other. We can use it to belittle each other. We can use it to insult each other. And like those two fields of energy, like obviously, living not as a positivist doesn't mean you go about your life, ruining other people's lives, but you might be ruining your own. You might be saying these horrible things to yourself if you don't say it to someone else. And it's still a choice. It's a choice of how you want to channel this creative energy that we've all been gifted with. And I'm just choosing to create from a place of love, to create not only from a place of love for myself, but a place of love for you friends as well. And I love you. I honestly love you so much. And you've taught me so much. Like I've been schooled probably more in these last 102 days that actually said in the title 102 days. I don't know, it doesn't matter. Learned more in this 102 days than I feel I've honestly learned in my entire life. And that is something weird for me to say, but I really do feel like that is the truth. There's two sides to everything. Yes, there is. There he is again. Good morning, brother. Enjoy your discussions, especially when feeling down, as I've been for a while now. It's okay, Bob. It's completely okay, my friend. I was feeling pretty down today as well, especially when I started getting ready. I was like feeling especially down. I was like, again, having these feelings of unworthiness, these feelings of unmotivated, these feelings of, just self-doubt. And yeah, they're illusions, they're lies that we tell ourselves. All of them are lies, just to try and push us harder than we're supposed to be pushed, or as hard as we're supposed to be pushed. You can see the camera shake with this wind. Goodness. But even pain and suffering is nothing but love. Yes, combat and Doug, exactly. Like at the end of the day, if God only created, and God, you can say source, you can say universe, you can say Allah, you can say Abba, you can say whatever you want to say. Like let's call it whatever, right? This source, this power that is beyond us. Its initial intention was to create from a place of love, to experience, I think, itself. And then if you're going to experience yourself, you're going to want to love yourself in that way as well, right? So everything that God created was an expression of love. And that includes the pain and the suffering that we experience, because the pain and the suffering isn't eternal. That's the thing as well. Like people become so attached to their pain and suffering, and I was so attached to my pain and suffering. Like it was an identity trait for me. Like that angst and that depression that I had. It was like I was like holding on to it and telling myself, "This is me." That's the box that I kind of put myself into. And the thing is as well, when we put ourselves in boxes is when we're more prone to becoming addicted to things. We're more prone to like attaching ourselves to things, because at our core, human beings want to bond with each other. So like to make an example of that, they did the study with rats where they put one bottle of water, clean water, in their cage, and then one bottle laced with cocaine or heroin. And they gave those rats nothing but the box and the water and a food source. And almost without doubt, like 99% or higher percentage of those rats would like overdose, kill themselves by drinking as much of that, intoxicating substance as possible. But then I think it was, I can't remember the scientist's name, excuse me, but he did the study where he created like a paradise world for rats, where they had, bunch of colored balls, they had mazes to walk through, tunnels to walk through, they had other friends to play with and mate with, they had everything that a rat could ever want in an environment. And they did the same thing, giving rats water, normal water, and water laced with with drugs, addictive drugs. And what they found was when the rats are satisfied and happy in their lives, not only do they almost completely abstain from the drug water, but they also never overdose, and they completely live a happy life. And like, no, we can't necessarily extrapolate that data directly to humans and say, like, if we had the perfect society, friends to play with, and just a happy life in general, we would also not have this addiction sense. Like it's not necessarily that easy to say it, but I believe in a lot of ways we put ourselves in these cages, these small cages, and we don't give ourselves room to move, because we believe that if I do this, if I do that, then I'm not going to be falling into this box that I put myself into. And a very, very easy example of that is with certain men and the color pink. Certain men will absolutely refuse to wear a pink t-shirt. Like they would like literally fight you to the death if you try and force them to put on a pink t-shirt. And it's literally them completely stopping themselves from experiencing something, be it as arbitrary as putting on a pink t-shirt, just because it doesn't fit into their box of what it means to be a masculine man, you know? And I feel like in a lot of ways it doesn't have to be as clear cut as the masculine man not wanting to wear a pink t-shirt, but it can be so multifaceted in our ability to stop ourselves from experiencing things because it is not the way that we see ourselves, or like we're not supposed to be hurting because, you know, I'm a positive person, I'm just supposed to be thinking these positive thoughts. So I think maybe just don't put yourself in boxes, because putting yourself in a box cuts you away from being able to bond with people. If you put an atom in a little, you know, steel box, it wouldn't be able to bond to any other atoms to create molecules. So free yourself from the boxes, my friends. I think maybe that's today's topic. Maybe it found me instead of me having to find it. Nothing teaches you better than pain. That is true, my friend. And I feel that's why we all have to go through it at some point, sometimes at multiple points as well. Right? When you boil it down to one thing, everything is based on emotion. I feel like a lot of our human experiences definitely are based on emotion and in our ways that we feel about things. But like I feel feeling is almost something that is beyond just this experience, this bodily experience. I feel I feel feelings could sometimes be even transdimensional, permeating other dimensions. This guy has life sorted out. My friend, you are so wrong. Like I feel like my life, in a lot of ways, could be seen as something that is in shambles. But I'm trying. I am trying. I am learning. I am growing. I am trying to get to the point where I can live a life that is just, live a life that is happy, live a life that is loving, and to be able to live that life in such a way where I can be an example for others. Because this is also something that I've been very intimidated by, and also like a reason I've like said a few things on stream that yeah, it just comes back to that. If someone wants to have like a way of like looking at something that is achievable, or something that is attainable, or something that is desirable as a life experience, like that is not necessarily something that is that easy to quantify either, because you can't necessarily just look at someone and on like a second glance basis and then kind of figure out like, oh yeah, they know what life is about and this is how I want to strive to be, because every single one of our lives are different. Every single one of our paths are going to have its own, you know, trials and tribulations. We're going to experience things differently. We're going to understand what we're going through differently because of the ways that we grew up, because of the things that we were told as children. And like it's like literally our purpose, our reason for existing is to find this this path that we're supposed to walk on, that we're supposed to get home with, not necessarily taking someone else's path. You can definitely watch someone on their path and take tips from them, like see them maybe, you know, picking up this stick to kind of swat at the snakes that are on his path, and you being like, oh man, that's actually a good idea, I should probably have a stick with me as well. And like that is, I think, the point of these streams to me, not necessarily to, like, I believe we are walking on the same path, and this path being the path to the heart, living from a place of love and compassion and forgiveness. But we are all on our own paths as well. And even though we're walking the same path as a consciousness, we're walking different paths as individual bodies. And those different paths that we get to walk as individual bodies are still going to lead us home. We just have to walk it diligently and learn from each other, help each other on those paths as well. Yeah. Being a human being is too difficult. where manual, where manual. Failure can teach you things that success cannot, which is why we like to say things only when life sucks. When life's good, this behavior conveniently disappears. I understand what you're saying, my friend, and I do agree with you as well in that case, where like failure is definitely the best teacher. And the thing is as well, like the most successful people are also the people that have failed the most in things because they've kept trying. And regardless of the feeling of that failure, they still continue to try, regardless whether they feared that failure again. Because if you fail once and you're too scared of failing again, then you never try again and you basically cut yourself off from success as well. So it is that growing process, my friend, the one that we can't escape. Thank you for the little heart. I appreciate it. Northern Lolo, I'm happy that you're here with us, my friend. Uh, but unless you're not learning from that failure, it can help you mold better circumstances for you in the future. You're right, Goldfish. Meh. I don't think it's a matter of failing and succeeding. My priority is learning. Yes, exactly. I'm either I'm either winning or I'm learning, right? Like those are the two things that we should think about. Not losing or winning. I'm either winning or I'm learning. Some of the pain I feel is resistance to change and uncomfortableness. So, like, I'm happy that you say uncomfortable, my friend. Hey, we have Paul here as well. I'm happy that you're here, Paul. I don't know if you're still here, but I'm sending you love and light, my friend. Um, Da-da-da-da. Oh yeah. Uncomfortableness. I was talking to one of my friends, telling him that I was going through a little bit of a rough spot myself, and he was like saying like he was feeling the same way, and he asked me why is it we feel this way sometimes, and I told him like the only like conclusion I can come up with is that we're supposed to feel uncomfortable to prompt us into action, right? If you're not uncomfortable, like if you kind of lay down on a like sharp rock and you're uncomfortable with it sticking in your back, if it wasn't for that uncomfortable sensation, you wouldn't reach out and take that little sticky rock out from under your back. So we kind of need this uncomfortable sensation sometimes in our lives to prompt us towards growth. So it's necessary as well, Goldfish. Thinking negatively is the first step in recognizing things can be better. Nothing wrong with that. Mm, I'm not necessarily sure that thinking negatively is the first step in recognizing things can be better. I don't know if that's how it works. And not, at least not for me. Like if it works that way for you, my friend, that is your divine experience as well. But like I think thinking negatively just kind of permeates or lets you attach to that negative feeling. Like obviously I have negative thoughts as well, but I don't attach myself to them. As I don't attach myself to my positive thoughts either. I'm trying to think of my thoughts as these, flows, like these little clouds in my sky. Sometimes our skies are clear, sometimes there's a bunch of clouds that, are just raining down on us. And not to judge the clouds, but to just observe them. I think that's the only thing that we can do, my friend. I agree with that to a degree. Yeah, to a degree. That's the thing is as well. Good day, kind soul. Hey, Wi-Fi for life, with for life. Thank you for the wholesome pro, my friend. I appreciate it. Oh, never mind. He's behind on chat at the moment. I'm really far behind on chat. I'm sorry, friends. What are you drinking? I'm drinking water. Sending good vibes, bro. Thank you, Toasty. Are you an Aquarius or Sagittarius? Just trying to guess. I'm a Taurus, my friend. It's just the constant hippie pseudo philosophy that's used to excuse things like intention, perception, and just basic aspects of cognition. Um, I feel like you're just saying something. You're not actually saying something, my friend. It's just this constant hippie pseudo philosophy. Like what is philosophy, my friend? At the end of the day, talking about life has been a profession, philosophy in general for the longest time. And it's probably going to continue to be a philosophy. I believe even AI are going to have philosophers. So, yeah, what do you mean by pseudo philosophy? I was also curious about that. I don't think that's a real thing. Yeah, like philosophy in its own is like a wishy-washy type of subject, and now you're adding a wishy-washy to wishy-washy, like pseudo and philosophy, like it's like an oxymoron. Is that the word? I don't know, I'm not sure. Anyways, I've said my piece. Have an upvote. Thank you, my friend. It was a tiresome battle, but I'm glad that I earned my upvote. um, the woke up with heavy. I woke up with heavy anxiety today as well. It do be like that sometimes, goldfish. It really do be like that, and like sometimes we tend to judge ourselves. Like if we wake up with that anxiety, and it's not us. That anxiety, those thoughts, those feelings, those judgments, those opinions are not us. We're something that's far beyond that. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, like fuck, I gotta get moving. Like you have that urgency, right? Or your heart is really beating. I have that thing as well. I mean, metalheads. Uh, I mean, metalheads. Like I need more info. Like I remember talking about metalheads and the boxes we put them in sometimes, but I don't know what you mean by I mean metalheads. Mm. I've been thinking about you guys nearly every day around this time, but I haven't found time to come by and say hi. I've been too busy with all of my projects. Don't worry about it all, combatant tuck. You are loved, loving, and lovable always, my friend. And when you're here, you're appreciated. When you're not, you're appreciated regardless. Know that you are loved. It's great that we can all share the space right now. Happy you made it today, and good luck with all your projects. Same. I also want to wish you luck with your projects, my friend. Do feel free to share any of them if you're keen to. What are you talking about? I just got here. Talking about everything. Yeah, Goldfish is right. Just talking about things in general, my friend. Seeing where life takes us in our own conversations. You cool. I am now leaving. Thank you, Death Run. I appreciate you for being here, my friend. Mm. How are you beautiful people doing today? Yeah, like I wonder how our friends are doing as well. Like I would really like to see what your friends' feelings are. Love the hair, thank you. Like I can't really see my own hair. It's a little bit of a mess, but it do be hair. Doing well, combatant. You, there we go. Justin is doing well at least. Negative, positive, just labels, man. So judgy. Suffering is implied in the human condition. Positivity is great, but running away from shunning negative things isn't the way to go. Embrace everything and explore it all to its deepest depths. I agree completely. Positive, negative is all fades. It all fades in the end, and the duality goes away. I agree completely, my friend, and that's what I feel I'm trying to say as well. Like I'm not trying to attach any labels. I'm letting these things flow through me as lived experience, not trying to try and like attach and then get stuck in a loop of be it positivity or be it negativity, allowing ourselves to flow back and forth in a sine wave through the negatives, through the positives, and just letting ourselves ride those waves instead of trying to hold on to a wave, because how do you can't hold on to a wave, no way. It's just gonna let you sink. Nothing but good. There we go. Sending you all love. My gym internet is so bad. I haven't heard a word for about 20 minutes. Catch you on YouTube. I'm happy that you're going to catch the YouTube at least, Aaron. I'm sorry that the gym's internet is so bad. It works for everything except for the streams. Cheers, gym internet. No one is shunning negativity. Yeah, exactly. We're not trying to shun negativity, my friend. We're just not entertaining it. I think that's the more important thing. Like there's a difference between, completely discarding this thing. Like let's think of like two dogs, right? You have two dogs in your yard. One dog is like a very happy dog, and one dog is a very angry dog. And the happy dog, every time he sees you, runs up to you, licks your hand, wants pets. And the other dog, every time he sees you, runs up to you and bites you. And like he does some damage every time he bites you. So like shunning him would be like completely ignoring this dog, letting him die, never trying to interact with him again. Where not entertaining him, you're not going to get into the same enclosure with him in order to get bit again over and over again because you're entertaining. You're like, okay, oh, little cute little negativity. Oh, it bits me. Oh, damn it. Oh, it hurts. Oh, cute negativity. Oh, and then it keeps hurting. Yeah, like you're going to get hurt because you're entertaining this negativity. But by acknowledging that negativity is a thing and that when you are in that field, it does hurt, you can still recognize that you don't have to entertain that negativity. You don't have to hold on to the dog that is constantly biting you. You can let it go and you can let it be as well. You can let it be a dog. You can still feed it like you feed both of your dogs, be it the positive dog that you like holding and you like actually giving pets, and the negative dog which you don't shun, you don't stop feeding him, but you don't entertain him, allowing him to bite you. If that's like a way to think of it. We are God, the source. We are one of many and many of one. Yeah, we will become one again. This is the point, my friend. It is all of these, tiny little spots of divinity that is from the whole. Hey, good morning on beat. I'm happy that you're here. I don't know if you're still here, my friend, but I'm sending you so much love and light. Emotions are fleeting, but we're responsible for how we react to them. When all we have left is memory, we should realize that we control the emotions we assign to the specific moment. Exactly, Jovan. Couldn't have said it better myself. Hey, truly yours. I'm happy that you're here as well, my friend. And I'm happy that you're here, Edmund. I'm happy that you made it. Where were you? Huh? Oh, damn it. Damn it, Edmund. Where? And here Ryan is as well. There we go, man. Like 3 friends showing up in tandem. I made it. My internet is being strange. And we're never late, brother. I love you. Yeah, we're never late. Exactly. We're here exactly when we need to be, Ryan. Morning. There we go. Yeah. Also, our reactions are mostly on autopilot. Yep. Most of the time, meditating helps to make the auto reactions better. Doesn't have to be more complicated. So, like, you can call it like autopilot or auto reactions. But what I call it is like living from a subconscious mindset, like doing things without being consciously aware of what it is you're doing in the moment that you're doing it. And it is something that we're very prone to do because it is less energetically taxing to live unconsciously than it is to live consciously. And it's just, making that mindset switch. I love pink. I wear pink all the time. Fuck yeah, Edmund. Pink is a cool color. I also like wearing pink. It's a cool color, but then people have these resistances within some of themselves. Justin and Javon, there we go. As a man, I would never wear a pink shirt. That's a girl's color. You see? But why? I'm guessing you're just trolling, but why? Why? How? How is a color a girl's color? Color isn't even real. Not technically. It's just different wavelengths on a spectrum. And then you're interpreting that wavelength in your eyes and then imagining it as a color, basically. So how can a wavelength be feminine? Free yourself from the boxes. Yeah, literally, free yourself from the boxes, my friends. Hello, Melt family. I love you all. I love you, brother bear. Colors are for all, I think. Imagine the color of our aura. I have a hard time with auras, interestingly enough, now that you say that, Ryan. I've never been able to see auras, and I've never, yeah, I guess that's the gist of it. I've never been able to see auras, and it's something that I'm very fascinated by, and something I do feel very unsure about, just in general. But like, what color do you think your aura would be, friend? There's no such thing as a girl's color. Color is color. Nobody can claim ownership over a color. Yeah, literally, Edmund. For me, it's like the physicality of the technicality, I should say, rather, of what color actually is. That's the arbitrary point of me to try and assign gender to it. Mel, this is a nice stream to wake up to. I'm happy that you appreciate it, my friend. I'm happy to read your comment as well. Puts a smile on my face. All of Mel's streams are great to catch. Thank you, Justin. Oh man. Like I feel I'm already starting to develop performance anxiety because I want these streams to be worth tuning into, right? I want us to have something to communicate about. I want us to learn something. I want us to feel things, and yeah, I shouldn't be too hard on myself either. Like today, I kind of like felt bad that I didn't do as much preparation in my topic that I wanted to. I didn't learn anything specifically that I wanted to share or anything like that. But then I kind of got this thought, like with all of this obsession almost about being prepared for the topics I want to talk about, what if I just came to stream not having prepared at all and having that as my intention? Because I'm trying to live more intentionally and trying to set my days up that I'm intentional towards, almost literally as like as a crossing point or a point of amalgamation where all of the things that I feel I was supposed to learn in this day kind of comes together and gets expressed here for myself to kind of reevaluate what I've learned and to help and to share in that experience of learning with all of you friends as well. And like if the intention is to not learn anything, what are we going to learn from that? Huh? I don't know. It could be interesting. Metalhead friends of mine are oh. Yeah, okay, sorry, Goldfish. Now I'm clicking what you're saying about the, metalheads being squishy. They are. They really are. Like, metalheads are more often than not the most compassionate and like soft-hearted people that you would meet. And it's usually like something that throws you awry. Metalhead friends of mine are squishy loving people. You were talking about what you see when you think of certain labels. Yeah, exactly, my friend. Thank you for reminding me again, Goldfish. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, I have to run. I will catch the rest on the YouTubes. Love you all. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate you being here for as long as you were, my friend. Sending you love and light. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Greetings from Japan. Hey, okay, Trickster. I think you're the first Japanese friend that we've had. Welcome to South Africa. I'm happy that you're spending some time with us. Whoa, I have a bug on me. Can you see him? Pew! He has an exoskeleton. He'll be fine. I think that was just like the coolest ride ever for a bug. And this is something I've been doing for the longest time. Like beetles and things. I like to kind of like flick them. Because what I like to imagine is I do think they have a sense for speed and like how fast a beetle is like capable of moving is kind of determined on the size of his wings, his capacity to flap his wings fast, this and that. So when I like help a beetle outside of the house, for example, if he's been stuck inside the house, and I can like flick him on the back of his exoskeleton, and he accelerates at like speeds exponentially faster than he's ever been able to fly, is that something that's enjoyable to him? I think so. I hope so. Otherwise, I feel bad for all of the torturings I've done of bugs. But I think it's an enjoyable experience. Like, if you know how fast you can fly, and the function of how fast you can fly can sometimes determine whether or not you survive the attack of an animal, then technically it could be something that is desirable to fly fast. So maybe in me accelerating him so fast can give him like a hit of dopamine. He can have some satisfaction for being the fastest bug in his generation. The fastest bug in the family. Or maybe I'm just crazy and I'm thinking about weird things. Oh, hey Ryan, I missed you popping in. I hope you're doing well. Yeah. I think I think we're getting better and better. How are you feeling, Ryan? Like I feel like this morning's message, like when it feels like sometimes when it feels like things are getting dark, maybe you're just being planted. So all you have to do is sprout. Like I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but it definitely is a beautiful message of allowing ourselves. Like for me, the other one is as well, like the arrow that is being dragged down or being dragged back releases and launches forward with more force. So embracing even the negative experiences and growing from them, completely welcoming them into our lives and seeing what comes of them as well. I've been putting to practice mindfulness in my everyday life. I'm doing so much better, Jovan. Thank you. How are you? I'm so happy to hear that. I'm really happy to hear that, Ryan. How did you become such a positive person? Do you meditate? Any book recommendations that you gave you this perspective? So, yes, I do meditate, my friend. Like, I don't think there was necessarily a one specific book that kind of, completely changed the way that I saw things, at least in my spirituality. But good books that I can recommend that help me kind of find my place with my own sexuality, with my own masculinity, with some like spiritual aspects as well, would be The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. And a lot of it can kind of be seen as misogynistic because like he talks about, well, I don't think it is misogynistic. He talks about the sexual energy men can have towards women and how these sexual energies kind of influence our daily lives and how we perceive the world, how we interact with the world, and how by becoming aware of the way that we can perceive and act in the world and asking ourselves whether or not these energy fields that we can participate in is going to serve our highest good or not can have a really profound changing experience on our lives. So that's one of the things that I've learned there, definitely. So The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. How to Change Your Mind by Michael Pollan. It's a big book, but it's a really good one as well. Um, the Way of Mastery by Jeshua. What other books that I feel had profound impact? I'm reading a book right now that is not necessarily, I think, aimed towards helping you spiritually, but I feel it definitely is helping me spiritually. And it's called The Five Invitations by Frank Ostaseski. And it's actually a book we're reading right now with our friends. And it's about this man that started a Zen hospice and the experiences that he had with helping people go through the last days of their lives, seeing family members come, having old fights resolved, feelings being exchanged, and just this experience of understanding our humanness in the like almost the scope of death. And it really has helped me a lot. So those are some of the recommendations I can give, my friend, if you want any. Hey, Christine! I'm also fascinated by auras. I have read that you could train yourself to see them, but alas, I have not. Training ourselves to see auras. Do we need to? Do we have to see auras? Like I feel in my personal experience with how I've been trying to live, at least especially these days, I think it wouldn't be beneficial to me to be able to see auras because it would add or create another layer of judgment for me to judge. For example, if I was to notice if inside someone like they have a completely only red aura, then I could imagine myself imagining them as someone that is completely living in their red aura field, their red chakra field. So they're still living from a place of needing to be rooted, needing to feel safe, and I can imagine myself like forming judgments about a person without them even having to say anything if I was capable of seeing something like that. And I don't want that. Like that is the last thing that I want. So maybe that's why I can't see auras, and maybe that's a good thing. So maybe it's for the best, my friend. Who are we to judge? Just trying to get some damn food for the fam, Jimmy. I'll be back. Is that a quote from something? Am I spacing? I'm not sure, Goldfish. Just trying to get some damn food for the fam. Jimmy, I'll I'll be back soon. Are you gonna actually be back soon and you're actually going out and going and getting some food? I'm not exactly sure. Maybe. Hello, my friends. Love the beautiful tree behind you, Esteban. I'm happy that you appreciate it, my friend. It is technically not a tree that is indigenous of South Africa, and you can see as well there's like these. Can you see? Yeah, like there's these trying to space. There we go. There's like these two tree logs being cut off because this tree was like almost leaning over the roof, so we didn't want to risk it getting blown over and like chopping a piece of our house off. So it got cut. Good, good. Lamal, you always miss the first thing I say. I feel like I am missing the first thing that you're saying, actually. Goldfish, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was joking about the bug you flipped. Oh. Oh, you have complex jokes. Maybe just like add Bug says, just trying to get some damn food for the fam, and then Jimmy. uh, the Thick Thor. Hey, Mr. Fireman, how are you, my friend? We haven't seen you in a while again. I hope that you've been well. How have you been keeping? That is very interesting perspective. I naively think it would be insightful, but humans do tend to find ways to judge. Yeah, that's the thing is as well. Like, I've been trying to like, I man, I want to say a thousand things. I think for the longest time, I definitely did live a very judgmental life, especially so because I kind of associated a lot of my personality and the way that I was interacting with people based on my intellect. Because for the longest time, I had the ability to articulate and to have a conversation in such a way that I was the one that was getting the point across in the conversation. And I was attaching my own personal value with my ability to do that, with my ability to be the one that is right at the end of the conversation, right? And in that way, I was being very judgmental of people as well if they didn't have the mental aptitude to keep up with me. And like that was something I was very judgmental of for a very long time in my life. And I'm not sure if it necessarily is because my parents told me how smart I am as a kid, like so much. Maybe it could be. Maybe I started associating my parents telling me. And obviously, my parents wanted me to be a smart kid and wanted to praise me for the excuse me, for the things I was doing. But I was attaching, again, ego parts of myself to this intellect. And at the end of the day, my intellect and our intellect is like, it's very cool. Like we're really smart as human beings. Like if you wanna like think about and compare it to a slug, like we're pretty like in tune and we can do some crazy things with our brains. But if you think about the scale of our brains on just our planet, it's like these little speck nodes, that can process information. Our intellect is so small in comparison to the very intellect that made everything that is around us right now. So by attaching myself to my intellect, I feel I was definitely very disillusioned and very judgeful as well in my expression and in the way that I was living my life. And that judgmental expression was at the end of the day separating me from other people as well, not allowing me to learn the things that I was supposed to learn, not allowing me to actually experience that person fully as a person instead of seeing them as a target, not necessarily a target, an opponent to be defeated. So yeah, like we do as human beings always find something to judge, and I think it's very important for me personally to completely silence that part of myself that has this need to judge, because judgment is an illusion. Like, what are you judging? Like, judging is the act of wanting to mirror something that you don't believe should be so, right? So if you're judging something, you're like, oh, this thing, it shouldn't be that way, and that's why I am this way. Like, no judgments, my friend. Doesn't help to judge. Hey, Lee, I can't see auras, but I can feel people's energy field. So on that actually aspect, I'm also with you, Jovan. Like for me, it's definitely a feeling thing. Like I'll intuitively know how someone makes me feel, like if I just see them at a glance, and then I'll kind of let it go from there. But not so much with like a physical thing that I see. Do you do guided meditation, silent music? Are you asking me, Lee? Or are you asking Jovan? Like, and are you asking, am I doing them as in giving them, or like I'm a little bit confused. My meditations, if you're asking me, I don't do guided meditations, and I do them silent as well. And I did actually download the Calm app because they gave mods like a free subscription. Any of you friends, if you're a mod, they give you free subscriptions for like this Calm app, like a year subscription. And yeah, It's pretty cool, but I've not used it. So maybe I'll get into some guided meditations. Love the photos of you covered in paint and dust. You're a warrior. I also love that photo. I said the same thing to her at the start of the stream. She's been here this whole time, Jovan. That's crazy, actually. Thank you, my friend. I'm well, just been busy. It do be like that, my friend. You want to share what you've been busy with? I am curious. Like, I think about you like more than I actually anticipate. Like, I'm wondering. I'm still curious about your injury, my friend. Hmm. Thinking about you, dude. I do feel energies too, Jovan. Oh, Jovan, yeah. It is very intense sometimes. It can be, especially if the energy doesn't necessarily is something that you want in your life. So you can have this like urgency almost to get away from that energy. And in that case, sometimes you can't always get away from it, and then it can be ultra intense. I'm an empath and very sensitive to all energies. I know I have strong intuitive abilities. I think, ooh, I just had deja vu. Ooh, it comes in waves. Like I had some crazy deja vu right now of reading Ryan's comment and especially that intuitive abilities part, and then the emojis that he used, like flashed in my head like 3 times over. It was weird. Hey, we have Dan here. Late, but I'm here. I'm happy that you're here, Dan. How are you, my friend? How have things been? Like, I'm thinking about you a lot as well, actually, especially with what you told me as of late. Lane, Dan might have some exciting news soon. He's in the process. So I think all we can do right now is to close our eyes, think of Dan's smiling face, and imagine him, getting the best news of his life. Like that's the blessings that I'm sending you right now, Dan. Hey, we have management Annie, Lisa, right? Hey, Lisa. I hope that you're well, my friend. Thanks for the book recommendations, Mel. I have to go start my day now, but I will carry this positive energy with me throughout the day. Peace. Please do, my friend. And don't only carry it, like holding it for yourself, go and share it with other friends as well. If you're going to be working with colleagues, working with family members, working with service people, just be kind to them for no reason, my friend. Make them smile, put some love and light into their lives, because there's enough darkness already. Thanks, Lee. I love the pic with your good old boy. Huh? Did Lee post a pic of his boy? I think I haven't seen that one. I don't think I've seen that one. Maybe I missed it in the amalgamation of all of the different Reddits, different Discord channels. Hey, we have little Jess here. Oh, I said little Jess. Little Red Jesse. Man, I'm spacing. That deja vu moment is like kind of echoing in my mind. Deja vu is a really weird thing as well. So apparently, the cause of deja vu is when a memory enters your consciousness, and then instead of it going down the normal pathways of being stored in your short-term memory and then later stored in your long-term memory, it kind of like jumps the gun and goes straight to your long-term memory. And then in your brain's process of identifying the things that it's experiencing, it kind of like stores this feedback into its long-term memory, and then while it's looking at it, it kind of recognizes that it has this long-term memory, and that recognition of the long-term memory gives you this strange sensation that you've already experienced this thing because it is a long-term memory. And it's a trippy experience. Like, what do you think about deja vu, actually, Jesse? Since you're a neurology student, we have a friend that knows things about the brain, so we can ask questions. Hey, Jesse, you were here, and that's what matters. That is what matters, my friend. I'm happy that you're here. Don't worry about being late. Or super on time. Yeah, maybe actually, like we're talking about the brain and that deja vu experience. So technically, if you came any earlier or any later, maybe the topic wouldn't have been aligned for me to have this question for you. So properly on time. Asking how you meditate, Estian. Early. Okay, yeah. So I basically take one of these cushions. I put it underneath a tree or against a rock, and then I close my eyes. I focus on my breathing, and then I do that for 33 minutes and 33 seconds. Sometimes I do some zazen meditation as well. So like keeping your eyes open and allowing yourself to experience your environment. I don't know if zazen necessarily has to be you experiencing your environment, but when I do open eye meditation, I don't necessarily just like blur my focus and kind of try and space out. I try and actually focus and look at the little birds, the way the wind like rustles the leaves, the way that ants carry pieces of debris at my feet, stuff like that. If that is a way to explain it, Lee. Try Sam Harris waking up. Is it a song? I slept in. Yay! I'm happy that you slept in as well, Jesse. I'm happy that you actually get some sleep. Like, how did your test go? The one that you had last time. I don't know if you've gotten your results back just yet. Uh, Less cool, more helpful than calm. Less cool, more helpful than calm. Less cool, more harmful. What? What are you saying, friend? What accent is this? This is a South African accent, my friend. How do you handle negative energy, my friend streamer? It's actually something that this stream was about. I think I handle negative energy mostly through experiencing it, just by allowing myself to understand, live that experience, and then to kind of allow myself to move past that experience, to not get too caught up in the experience, and to, almost weighed down with my own mind's thinking sometimes. Fingers crossed, indeed, Dan. Yeah, there we go. We have few positive intentions towards you right now, Dan. Appreciate the good vibes, everyone. Love you all. There we go. My dog, your dogly. What did you say about your dog? Uh, your dogly. I'm not sure what you mean, my friend. You want to tell me about your dog? Something about deja vu, maybe. I'm not sure. It's okay to set goals and work toward them. It's okay to sometimes relax and roll with the waves of the moment. You need both of tension and relaxation. I agree completely with that as well, my friend. And it's not something that I'm naive about. Like, even though I do believe in manifestation, I do believe in the law of attraction, I do believe in this ability for us to create our experiences, but it doesn't mean I'm naive about what I need to do to still realize these things in my own life. What I need to kind of, set in motion to create the experiences that I want to create for myself. I can't just kind of lay on a couch and wish for me to become, a millionaire with a beautiful wife, children, a fulfilling career. If I'm just going to keep sitting on the couch and just, one day this will happen to me and I continue sitting on that couch forever and ever, then no, nothing is going to change. We still have to be the ones that take charge and changes ourselves. This is the way. This is the way. You're bringing me to tears. I'm guessing it's tears of joy this beautiful morning. I'm happy, my friend. Like, tears of joy definitely is the best type of tears. Sriracha AF? Is it Sriracha AF? Sriracha AF. I'm happy, my friend. Thank you for sharing your joyful tears with us as well. Deja vu is when your brain is like, you're so cool, I'm gonna give you the same experience twice. And then your brain is like, like it glitches yourself. And you say, teenage, myrtle, needle, teetles. What blurred comment is that, my friend? I was like going for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then teenage myrtle, needle, teetles. Why? Why, my friend? You look like a nice person. I like it. I'm happy that I look like a nice person, my friend. I try to be a nice person as well. You meditate with your eyes open occasionally, Jovan. Like, it's definitely something of, I'll feel myself being like distracted with my own mind and with my own clarity and own calmness in my meditation, and then I'll open my eyes and then actually take some time to become aware of my lived experience, of the things around me, of where I was in the moment, and it helps me ground myself a little bit. Oh, that's definitely interesting. I'm learning about the different pathways right now. I'm on motor and sensory pathways, yet to cover memory, but you have given me a nice intro. I'm happy. I don't know nothing about the brain, but I don't think I know nearly enough about the brain. Terminology. Terminology, right? Right, Jesse? Am I speaking to your heart? Them damn terminologies. There's so many different words for different things. And if you don't remember one, it feels like you don't know what you're talking about. My exam, I got it. Whoa, an 83 out of 100 without the written part graded. So hopefully, with the written part added, I will get an A. Everyone's luck and support was so helpful. Sending you even more luck and support in this moment again, Jesse. Like that is still great. Like 83%, stonks to me. It's really big stonks. Like well done. I'm proud of you, my friend. Thoughts on the afterlife. So my thoughts on the afterlife, my friend, are going to be probably a little bit controversial as well, because I believe it's difficult to say these things. I believe that there isn't necessarily one type of afterlife. In like there's only this one thing. I believe there's so many different multi-dimensional layers to this existence that we're existing in, and that when we die in this three-dimensional plane, our souls kind of transcend this three-dimensional plane and go on to the next dimensional plane, wherever that may be. And I feel depending on what you were doing in your life, how you were experiencing things, what you were doing, what journeys you were on, is going to kind of determine where it is your soul is yearning for, where it is you want to end up at, because of the things that you were going through, because of the things that you were learning. So it's like this thing of, you can kind of choose for yourself your own hell if you want to, or you can choose for yourself something that would be heaven. And in that way, you can kind of see this existence that we're living right now as a type of heaven. And that heaven resides within each and every single one of us. So, like, the afterlife is definitely a trippy question, my friend. Or are you talking about the bar at Night City? Psst. To those two friends, no, probably a half a friend in chat that has played Cyberpunk. Man, that game, I was so hyped for that game. And I feel like Cyberpunk might have killed my love for games. And I'm very, very perturbed to say that, but I've not been playing games at all. I haven't played, like, I've probably played like 3 hours of games in the last 50 days, if that much. And I don't think I can completely blame Cyberpunk for that, but like, having played The Witcher 3 and having that expectation of what a game could be going into Night City or going into Cyberpunk, it was just not what I was expecting, and it was really a bummer. Wait for the game to be complete. That's great, Jess. You were hoping for that A. Yeah, like, what is an A? Above 90 then, I guess. It would be, probably. Negative emotions is necessary to appreciate the absence of it. Yeah, exactly. It's that contrast again. You asked about the pic of my good old boy on the Discord that Jovan mentioned. It's a pic of me and my dog. Okay, thank you, Lee, for clarifying for me, because like I really was it in the, probably your pets. Did you post it in pets, in the pet section? I'm guessing you did. I'll go and check it out, Lee. I want to see what you look like, friend. You carry much good knowledge, my friend. Thank you for sharing it to the world. Thank you, my friend, for allowing me to share it, and thank you for in turn teaching me as well. I feel I might have some knowledge, but I feel I'm still in my infancy of trying to figure out what I'm supposed to know about this place. Constant growth. Constant growth. Right on, you rock. There we go. Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does. This is afterlife. This is before life. This is life. Exactly. That's what I was talking about as well, Combatant Tuck. You can see this plane of existence as a type of heaven. It's just seeing it as a type of heaven. Like, you can't expect it to be heaven if you don't want to see the heaven in it at the end of the day, you know? What inspired your philosophy on afterlife? Is it some religion? No, not necessarily, actually, my friend. Not really a religion as much as it was a spiritual path that I had to kind of find for myself. I was raised in a very Christian household, a Christian household that was kind of forceful at first in my life, and then when I was about like I think 15, 16, my parents kind of like gave up and realized that trying to force me into going to church and stuff isn't going to make a difference. So they kind of let me go in a way, and in my let go in state, I kind of went on a rampage and tried to find myself. And in this process, I've tried to form my own ideas, I guess, of what this existence is supposed to be for us. And it's been quite a process. Cyberpunk, what a letdown. Yeah, it's gonna ring 2020, dude. 2020 just kind of had to like have a cherry on top, like a fuck you, like a lad. If you could live forever, would you feel bored of living after a while? Would you want to learn everything possible about the universe? You see, the thing is as well, Destructo Disc 90, and we haven't seen you in a while, my friend. I'm happy to see you again. The thing with living forever is technically we already are, right? We just choose to forget constantly so that we can learn again. I'm learning from you too, Meld, and from our growing community. That's what makes this so beautiful. It really is. And it's what makes me so grateful for this as well, Lee. Like, this is not something that I feel you can buy, right? Where do you go and buy yourself friends to grow with? Like, it's not something you can buy. It's not something you can just kind of take for granted either. And that's why I'm so grateful for you, friends. The more I learn in life, the more I realize how much I still need to learn. Yeah, and I feel that is a fantastic place to leave it off of as well. The more we learn, my friends, the more we're allowed to learn, basically. We never stop. We just keep allowing ourselves to learn more and more. And then our physical forms perish, and we get to start all over again and learn new things. Thank you, my friends. I appreciate your presences so much. Thank you for sharing this space with me as always. I hope to see you again tomorrow.